Hey, Engraver here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 3 of my dynamic expression series. Today we're going to be running a sound file, an ambient sound file, through a variety of envelopes, and I would like to see with this video, see how expansive these envelopes can be. So we're going to be writing out these envelopes in a few different ways. The first is this here. We have our envelope, ugen here, with 3 functions, and you'll notice that each function has an iteration number. So this will output an array of 5 values, this will output an array of 4 values, and this will also output an array of 4 values using our shortcut exclam. That's it, exclam. And the first function is our amplitude levels. Our second function is our time levels between the amplitude points, how long something is traversing from one point to the next. And finally, our last function is curve values. So, depending on, either extremity, these could be rather steep curve values. So without rambling on, let's just go ahead and evaluate this and see our first shape, which is I would say very boring. Well, it's boring looking. Looks like an illustration of the doldrums, to be honest. But the whole point is we are seeing our curves and points. And these points actually are not dramatic at all. Just a little knee here, a little knee here, a little slope there. And so there's a general rise from just below 0.2 of the maximum amplitude all the way to just above 0.8 before just drifting off. Let's see if we can find something a little bit more dynamic. I will say this is left to chance, to indeterminacy, so we might have some great results, we might not have very good results at all. All right, so this is a little bit more musically dynamic. We are starting from a rather low amplitude, rising all the way above 0.9 over the course of 10 seconds, or almost 10 seconds, and then a little dip, then a little dip, and then a rapid ascent over the course, rapid ascent over the course of 4 seconds or so, just expanding on. Just looks like it's going to be a little bit of a plateau there, but I like that shape a little bit better. This is nice. So we can see this nice steady rise, plateau, and then fall over the course of 16 seconds, and then a very nice steep rise to almost the maximum amplitude before a nice steady drop over the course of almost 30 seconds. So just depending on chance or what you can see, or really the sound file, what kind of sound file it is, or what kind of oscillation it is, you might find something very good. Let's go ahead and apply this method, this envelope method, and stick it into a synth def with a sawtooth oscillator for our amplitude modulator, and see what it sounds like. This will be random, and I will say that I had to multiply the output of this function by 4 because the sawtooth oscillation, at least with this sound file and compared to other oscillators, the output is kind of low. It's my favorite sound, but the output is kind of low, so I needed to multiply that by 4. I think that is a little bit more significant. Let's decrease the range here. It's a rather long ambient sound file. It's about 70 seconds, so that's why you have pretty large values here. Let's just go between, I would say actually even between 1 and 8 seconds with the 10 iterations there. And there was something else I wanted to change. I will go ahead and change this to, maybe even, I would say just even positive values here. I prefer the positive with the curve values. I'm not sure why. Might not make an aural difference, but let's go ahead and see what that does. All right, so it ended abruptly, but that was way more musically dynamic, so I prefer that. Yeah, that'd be good. I don't know what values were used, but again, this is left to chance. I just realized this can be rand, rand, not xbrand. There we go. Yeah, I'll go ahead and change that as well for my sake, because this actually is going to be on Pastebin anyway, so I got to make the code quite nice. All right, let's work on another method for procuring different envelope shapes. This one is a very interesting one. So we are including mgen, and we are including these very fixed values for our levels array and our times array. I would say amplitude levels, time values, yeah. And then just a simple curve value of 8. Let's see what this generates for us. So what's going on is something obviously symmetrical, something even rhythmic, and simply put, let me just bring that down here so you can see the values of this envelope. We have this very steep incline to 0.1, then to 0.2, then to 0.3 before a drop to 0.1, before it cycles over to 0.2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it's 3 times, give or take. You can see there's a little bit of nudging with the cycle there. But it's really 3 times, averaging 3 times per second over the course of 4 seconds, as we can see the plot duration for here, and 3 impulses as our gate argument. And this took a bit of troubleshooting, and I'm not saying I have it down pat, but I wanted to apply something like that to our ambient sound file. And just a couple changes, I outputted this array with a multiple of 8, so the output is louder, and kept the times the same. I didn't really want to change too much because changing those values and changing rather, I would say including changing those amplitude values really, I think renders it ineffective, and I'm not sure why yet. So we'll just keep it at these values here with a very steep value for our curve value at the value of 12. So let's see what that sounds like. I like that. So it's got definitely that shakiness. There's a little bit of wavering in amplitude, but it's still symmetrical. It's still rigid, and it's got a great effect. So this could be applied in other ways. So I just want to keep tabs on that just to use it, utilize it for something else or with a sound like this. So anyway, let's continue on. We're going to go ahead and pretty much do the same envelope method here, except with a little bit more of an expansive array, I would say. So we have, I think, I don't even know how much that is. I think that's 9 values. 8 time levels, 9 values. And I think, yes, 8 curve values with a duration of 8. So let's see what that looks like. All right, takes a little time to load up. There we go. And I would say, all things considered as far as shapes, that looks really interesting. And I can imagine that this is musically interesting too. So hopefully running it through a sawtooth oscillation ambient sound file will be nice. One change I did make is the times go from 1 second to 4 seconds because it is a longer ambient sound file. And as per usual, I would multiply that output just by 4. Maybe sometimes depending on the output, sometimes it needs 8. I mean, at least this sound file that you're hearing, on my channel. Maybe your sound file is very different or your oscillations are very different. So I would say proceed with caution when it comes to amplitude values. okay. You know, maybe I should be even more dramatic with my values here. So let's try, oh, I don't know, a very small change there. Yeah, something a lot more dynamic. I'm pretty excited about something like this with our envelopes and seeing how expansive they can be. So thanks always for watching and listening. And until I see you next, keep experimenting that good music you love, and I will catch you later.